I'm Olivia Dudek, and I am your host for Friday I'm in Love. Today I'm in love with the stunning Stacey Woods.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Stacey and I met in my first feature-length film, and it was a horror film, of course, because you have to do your honorary horror film once you get here, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Gotta get it.
Yeah,
Gotta get it out of the way.
Hollywood hazing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Hopefully just one.
Yeah.
Not too many.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Okay, where are you from?
I am originally from Northern California. I was
You are?
born in Lodi, raised in Stockton, California. And
Okay.
so that's south of San Francisco, or south of Sacramento, east of San Francisco.
What is your personal theme song?
You know, that's a really hard one because I feel like there's so many songs that could be potential theme songs to my life. However, I'd probably say Being the Dirty Dancing is one of my all-time favorite
nice.
movies.
Okay.
I'm kind of a dork about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say Time of My Life.
Wow.
Or
Good one. Or
something by Bob Marley, maybe Three Little Birds or Sun is Shining.
I like Morning Yearning, Ben Harper.
Oh,
I like to wake
yeah.
up to that.
Yeah,
Every single day.
Picture of
Like,
You.
religiously.
Yeah, there's so many good ones. Both Sides of the Gun. That album was really, really good.
Yeah.
But he's just a phenomenal artist. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So about your real estate license, you were just mentioning that you got into that and have been doing that a little bit over the past couple of years. You needed a little bit of a break, was that? what happened?
Yeah. So last year, actually, a year ago,
Mhm.
at this time, I started my real estate classes at Santa Monica City College, and I kind of got a little bit, not jaded with the industry, but a few things happened where, like there was payment issues or I had to chase money, or there was just certain things that really kind of bothered me about the industry, and I just was like, I can't deal, I need something different. So, and I'm getting older, as we all are, and I thought, I was just thinking about the future. I don't want to be solely dependent on my physical outer being for my, what generates my income. So I thought of real estate, and I thought that that's something that never really goes out of style, or,
Smart.
and it's just always going to be around, and it's always going to be there to, I could supplementally, add to my income.
What would you say are the biggest challenges you encounter?
Biggest challenges, I would say rejection. I think rejection is really hard. It's part of this whole thing. It's a part of the game that we all endure. And I know I've endured quite a fair share.
Yeah.
But it gets you. You can walk out of a casting or walk out of, whatever, feeling on top of the world. It's in the bag. I got this. And then you don't hear. It's just kind of like, oh, you just have to swallow your pride and just okay, just forge onward and upward. But I think at the end of the day, the rejection is really difficult because you're trying to build up your sense of self-confidence, and you're trying to walk in the room like you don't give up.
I know.
And leave like you don't give up, because that's when you get it,
Yeah.
but you do care. So it's finding that balance
Totally.
of caring, but just enough,
Well, do you have a process? I mean, without revealing
Right.
too much, do you
Yeah.
have a regular process you do before you go to a shoot or prepare for a role or audition?
Yeah, I always try to at least not drink the night before.
That's a good start.
Minimum.
What do you mean, really? Not even a glass of wine? You don't want to?
Not the night before, because there's other nights to do that. Drink plenty of water, try to get rested, because your face is very revealing, your eyes are very revealing.
Yeah.
So I just try to be rested, take care of my skin as much as possible. And it's hard in the city because there's so many things that will just
So many elements.
that will just wreck your skin.
Natural.
But I think, and if it's something with lines, obviously preparing, and if it's not, then just knowing what I do research. If I'm going to set, I want to do a little bit of research.
The crew and the people?
On the people, on the crew, on the product. I want to have product knowledge. I just find it kind of frustrating when you go to sets and people are like, oh, what is this for? It's
It's
you should know what
get out of
you're
here.
doing, So just trying to be a professional and just knowing what I'm getting myself into, and just trying to prepare myself in the best way possible, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and just try to bring a good attitude, because I know it can be hard sometimes with other elements in your life can kind of infiltrate. But I think it's really important to check it at the door, and what we're doing here, we're playing pretend, right? We're here to have fun. So it's just go to that place and just be positive and have an optimistic outlook.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What has been your worst survival job?
I would have to say, and I don't, I know there's a lot of people that do this enthusiastically, and this is their main source of income, and I commend you for doing that. But for me personally, my worst survival job was probably like doing background work and I can argue on the other side, like, listen, you get fed, you don't have to work very hard, and there's a lot worse. But when you do it for a certain amount of time, and you are treated in a certain way, and you feel like you're less of a person. And I don't think anybody should be made to feel like they're any less of a person, because they're still a part of the scene. It's still a part of the environment that you're trying to create. And I just think that, I found myself to be a bit bitter when I was doing it, because I was like, I would be watching the actors and they would either be shitty or like maybe sometimes they would have a bad attitude, and this wasn't all the time. Granted, there were some people that I worked with that I really enjoyed, Al Pacino. So, there's always exceptions to the rule, but I would say probably in general background work.
What has been your best?
My best job would probably be, I did this, there's been plenty of fun jobs, but I think probably like my highest paying job was this Target commercial I did. At the time, it was a non-union buyout. I was only 17 or 18, and I made a lot of money in 2 hours.
Nice.
And I thought that's how it was gonna be, and so I was like, oh cool, like, spend all my money, it's just gonna keep coming.
Did you blow your money? At 17,
yeah.
What did you blow it on?
Some things. I wasn't very well educated in what to do with my money, and I made some decisions that I do regret now, but it was a great learning experience.
Yeah, there you go. What photographers or directors would you like to work with?
Okay, well, it's hard because I'm not trying to, I've worked with some really awesome people so far, and I just want to give them a little bit of credit.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, Mark Seliger is one of my all-time favorite photographers. He's done a lot of work over the years for Rolling Stone, Vanity Fair, details of countless Vogue, countless publications, but he's shot everyone, and he's just got such a great eye, and he's such an artist. I would love to work with, maybe Rob Marshall or Terrence Malick. I've been very fortunate enough to work on sets with J.J. Abrams, Christopher Nolan, David Fincher.
Do you think classes are necessary?
I think that it doesn't hurt. I think that, listen, like, some of the most successful people in the world haven't necessarily graduated college. Like, are classes necessary to succeed? I don't know, but I think it doesn't hurt to educate yourself, kind of immerse yourself in maybe a technique or a method. Or, for instance, I'm an improv student right now at UCB. And I love that environment. Like, that's how I like to work. I like to work with a team and build something out of nothing. Whereas, like, when you're on your own and you're doing things individually, yes, it's important to do that work on your own individually. However, it's just how I want to work in the future is more of kind of like a group collaborative
because
effort.
it'll always be a collaborative process anyway, so it's good for that if nothing else.
Right. So I say, absolutely, craft classes are great. Is it make or break? Who's to say?
Well, I don't know. What's your favorite thing about being an actor?
I think just being able to play pretend, right? Like, when you're a little girl, when you're free of all inhibitions, you play pretend, and you can create whatever fantasy land you want, and it can be as great and magical and peaceful and violence-free as you want it to be. And I think it's so great to be able to have like that imaginative capacity to take yourself out of what's currently going on in actuality. I think that